All right. So Jets don't get off the bus. Jets lose 31-6. I didn't think this was going to be a win for the New York Jets, but I did not think it was going to be this bad. This was a very, very ugly showing from a very bad, undisciplined team in our New York Jets. So 31-6, Cardinals beat the Jets. Jets dropped to 3-7. Statistics for the day, I'll go over in just a second. I do have Ulbrich and Rodgers press conferences pulled up, so as soon as we go to those pressers, we will pull it over and we will watch it together, see what Coach and Rodgers have to say. Although I'll be honest, I really don't care. This is just such a shit poor team that it is very, very hard for me to be enthusiastic about this bunch right now. Aaron Rodgers finishes the day 22 of 35 with 151 yards. Breece Hall, 10 carries, 52 yards. It's good for 5.2 yards carry. Braylon Allen, 7 carries for 27 yards, 3.9 yards a carry. So the Jets actually made some progress on the ground today. Garrett Wilson, top receiver, 5 receptions, 41 yards. Devontae Adams, 6 receptions, 31 yards. Lots of miscommunication, lots of drops, lots of, not being on the same page and whatnot. Tyron Smith winds up getting pulled from the game with Olu going back in. I shouldn't say back in, but going in at left tackle. We'll watch the all-22 tape on him maybe tomorrow or something like that, just to see how he performed overall. I did feel like he did all right. We're going to go over to the presser because it does appear to be starting.
All right, start with the injury report. Tyron had the neck, didn't come back in. Olu went in for him, did a good job. BE had the concussion and didn't return. He'll be in the concussion protocol. Overall, after a long layoff there, they were not prepared to play. We didn't execute even close to our standard, and that falls on my shoulders 100%. I didn't do a good enough job of getting these guys ready. I thought the physicality and the effort was fine. That was not the issue. It was execution, and then that was all 3 phases. So until we get that right, this thing will not turn.
Jeff, obviously it's a tough day on defense. Just talk about some of the struggles that they were kind of doing on those 5 straight series where they scored.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to our base fundamentals, and obviously I did a poor job of getting us ready for this team in that way, tackling, edge setting, getting off of blocks. And then I got to continue to try to find ways to put them in a better position to be successful.
Jeff, you can't tackle guys. I appreciate you're taking the blame here, but why? What's going on with the tackling right now defensively?
Yeah, we got to work it. We got to get better at it. I thought we made a huge emphasis of it this week. Obviously, not enough. So we got to continue to take the extra step. We've got to wrap. We got to get population to the ball. The core foundation of this game from a defensive perspective. We got to get back to that.
You had the second half against Houston where everything looked so right. You guys were so loose this week. Broncos lost earlier in the day, kind of closing the gap with the 7th spot in the wild card. How does all that happen and then this happen?
I'm going to take a hard look at myself and really look inward and what I could have done better. In the preparation for this game because something was off. I thought the energy was fine. The energy was not the issue. I didn't think that like I said, I didn't think the strain, the effort, the physicality, that wasn't the issue either. It was just the fundamentals, the base fundamentals, the technique, and that will win you games and that will lose you games if you're not on point with that. So we just we got to be better in that way.
Offensively, when you look at Aaron, it just looked like he wasn't looking down the field. I don't know if it was a protection issue at all. It was just mostly, before you guys got far behind, a lot of dump-offs. What was going on there?
Yeah, I thought we did a good job sustaining drives early. We had 2 long drives and a 10-play drive and 11-play drive, I think, or 11-play or 12-play, regardless. Sustained drives, and we knew that was going to be a big part of the keys to victory this week, especially knowing what they could do offensively from a run game perspective. We just didn't finish in the red zone. You got to finish 0 for 3 early there, and field goals aren't good enough against a team like that.
With a future Hall of Fame quarterback and receivers of the caliber of Wilson and Devontae, you guys didn't have an explosive play all day. I mean, I think 15 yards was the longest play. I mean, is that a head scratcher to you?
Yeah, they know that, and we know that. And that's every human being on that offense, and myself included, as far as the plan is concerned, how the game is called, and then the execution by the players. So that's a collective failure by all of us.
It looked like you were going to have a stop on 3rd and 7, get Cardinals off the field, ball back to your offense, and then Sauce missed that tackle. They scored the touchdown. I kind of felt like the route was on after that. I mean, how big of a turning point was that specific play?
Yeah, it's just one of many plays that we got to get better at, and it comes down to, like I said, technique, base fundamentals, tackling, getting off blocks. I mean, the stuff that the foundation of defensive football, and it wasn't even close to good enough today.
On the drive to start the second half, you get to the 3. Did you consider kicking a field goal there just to get a positive out of the drive? And number 2, why 3 straight passes?
I just wanted to stay aggressive. We were in the hole. We weren't doing a good job defensively right there. I wanted a momentum shift, and so we went for it.
With the tackling thing, how can that have like a cumulative effect on morale when it's been going back several games now, and then multiple times in the game when you just keep missing these opportunities to bring guys down?
Yeah, it's not good enough. It sustains drives for them, and when you get an opportunity to make the tackle, you've got to do everything that we know and that we preach, and we've got to take the extra step. We have to wrap. We have to commit to getting more than one hat to the ball. We have to understand leverage and how we approach tackles. All of those things not good enough right now.
What's your message to them now that the playoffs mathematically just are pretty much a long shot?
Yeah, we're going to keep fighting. That in all honesty, the playoffs should be the last thing on our mind right now. We just got to play better football. We got to get back to basics. We got to get back to doing the things that we do well, featuring the players in the best way that we can, and then the players got to do the best job of executing the game plan, and we'll take this one game at a time, and we'll see what happens. But the beauty of this locker room, though, is we have some very prideful men in there, which I think is a testament to how they finished that game, especially in that fourth quarter, the back half of the fourth quarter. There was not one quit from anybody, offense, defense, or special teams. The character of that locker room is right. Just got some things we got to fix and clean up.
You mentioned the layoff, the long layoff here. This is 2 times where you guys had a really nice performance on a Thursday night and then followed it up with a loss. Do you think that's contributing?
We'll take a hard look at that. Take a hard look at everything. And obviously that's something that I can control as far as how we prepare on the longer layoff. So get to the bottom of it and see exactly what the problem is.
Coach, did what the Cardinals showed you on film during the week kind of manifest itself in the game today?
Yeah, I'll say this: they probably passed the ball a little bit more than we had anticipated. We had a huge emphasis on stopping the run, understanding that was the style of that offense. They've made their money in the run game, and Kyler did an amazing job. Credit to him to hit us, and especially when we didn't execute, we didn't do a good enough job in coverage at times too. So they did a great job. They had a great plan for us.
Jeff, this is week 10 and things are getting worse in terms of the tackling and fundamental things. How can you improve on that in the middle of the season?
We can still drill it, and we will. That's the one thing that our defense is built on. Because we don't do a ton of stuff, it gives us the opportunity to really hone in on fundamentals. Obviously, we have not done a good enough job of that, especially as of late. So it's something that we got to go back home, and we got to get back to what we do.
What was the explanation on the play just before the 2-minute warning, the first half, where they looked like they kind of fumbled the ball, and then they said do over basically?
Yeah, they didn't have. They said they weren't ready to officiate the play, so it was a do over. They didn't know if it was offsides. They didn't know if it was false start. I think they were a little unsure, so it was just redo the play.
You've been around a long time. You ever seen that?
No, I have not.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Room is open. I'll let you guys know in the room when the quarterback goes.
All right, so that was Olbrich's press conference. I will have Aaron Rodgers' press conference here shortly as soon as he comes to the podium. But man, this was a terrible loss for the Jets, and it's very hard for me to be overly upset or angry at what I'm seeing, because at some point it's on me to change my expectations, and I think that's sort of what you're seeing in my demeanor right now. I shouldn't even say right now. Really, for the last few weeks, I've kind of felt this way, and you guys have seen me feel that way. Just a very, very disappointing unit. We have 11 players on each side of the ball that don't know how to play as a team. That's the offense, that's the defense, and hell, for the most part of this year, special teams with Zuerlein not being able to figure it out. So this is something we saw a lot of, throughout this skid of a stretch here. I mean, without the Texans win last week, this is a much longer stretch of non-winning. And it did take them not having two of their better players on offense for the Jets to come away with that win. First downs. The Cardinals had 10 more first downs than the Jets. We were 6 of 13 on third down. The Cardinals were 5 of 7 on third down and 1 of 1 on fourth down. Sacks, we allowed 3. They allowed 1. Penalties. Jets only had 3 penalties for 25 yards. Only 3 penalties today. So that's probably their lowest total for the year. We had 1 fumble lost. And time possession was almost even, 27 minutes to 32 minutes. So just a really, really disappointing, flat team coming out here. What do I want to see happen? Well, right now, Tankathon has the Jets as the number 9 pick in the draft. If you were to go in order of what this first round currently is, Jacksonville would have the first pick if the season ended today. Giants have the second pick. Titans, then Browns, then Raiders, Dolphins, Patriots, Saints, Jets, Panthers, in that order. So as we move throughout the rest of this season, Tankathon does have the Jets winning the tiebreaker against Carolina right now. I'd imagine that's going to shift and change throughout the course of the rest of the season anyway. But I do think the Jets are probably headed towards a top 5 pick in this draft at this point. I don't know how much more motivated you're going to get guys that were Super Bowl bound at the beginning part of this season to really participate in an all hands on deck kind of manner. Honestly, I don't even know what I want the Jets to do. I'm like so over this season. I really don't care. When I look ahead to like the head coaching search, I want them to bring in Vrabel, but at the same time, like you kind of got to figure out what's going on with Rodgers. Is he going to retire? Are you able to convince Woody Johnson now that he's more than likely not going to be here? Maybe Chris Johnson makes the determination. Hey, we're putting the kibosh on the Rodgers thing. Let the new GM, new head coach take charge of it. We heard from Douglas this past week. Just pathetic. It sucks. I think everyone should be on the trade block. No one's job should be safe. Not head coach, not GM, not any player on this roster. There's not one player on this roster that I would deem as safe in terms of a trade. Every single player, star or not, should be open to getting traded. Boys and girls, this post-game stream is brought to you by BetUS. If you guys didn't check out the odds prior to the game, take a look at how they all finished up here. Get a 150% bonus match on your first deposit up to $2,000 with code YouTube150. I told you guys before the game I would not touch the spread one way or the other. I did not think this was a good game for the Jets. I didn't think that, I thought it was a volatile game. Anything could happen, but I wasn't going to touch it. And as far as points, look, I thought they would have to go on the over. I did say you'd have to score over 30 points to win this game, and lo and behold, 31 points is what the Cardinals put up. So 31 points. Jets only muster 6 points tonight. That is not enough to hit the over on today's prop, which is a little frustrating considering where this team could have really been after a nice little performance against the Texans last week. Again, thank you so much, BetUS, for sponsoring the channel. Man, that is rough. I want to talk to you guys in the chat a little bit. I'll pull up Rodgers' presser as soon as it goes live over here. Hexon says, Murray used the Jets defense to set a franchise record for completions. I'm disgusted. Yeah, look, you just knew it was coming. The Jets can't stop anything. This is not the Jets defense of the last few years. This is a sad excuse of players that just think they are, Rodgers just going to pull them out and everything's going to be fine or whatever. It just doesn't feel like this team has any fight. And I don't care who's here in the future. I really don't. There's a lot of players, a lot of individuals that I like, but right now I could care less. It does not matter to me who gets moved in the offseason right now. Mumtaz says, I posted that Houston game would mislead us because even Zach Wilson blew them out. It only held back our rebuild. Now we can't even move assets. Disaster. Yeah, look, I see what you're saying, Mumtaz, and I don't think you're wrong. I just think that the Jets I don't think they were really going to sell as much as it would have made sense had the Jets lost to the Texans. I don't think Joe Douglas is going to be here. I don't know if Woody Johnson would have authorized the selling off of like all the assets. And as long as there's still a glimmer of hope, because the Jets still are not mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, but man, it would be hard as hell to get in. I think they just say, oh, we'll turn it around. The switch just has to flip and you go. At this point, with 7 losses, I don't know anyone who is buying that ish at all. Absolutely crazy if that is your thought process. But hey, you know what? If you believe the Jets have a shot, there's also the word gullible written on the top of your ceiling. So make sure you look up and check that out. Ed says, Ryan, I can't do this anymore. What the hell's going on? With the no tackles, yet again, it is hard. Is it that hard to tackle? It seems like it's that hard to tackle. Feels like a lot of guys are making business decisions. Sauce looked terrible. Just everyone across the board just really, really stinks. James. Oh, hold on. Sorry, I'll go back to you, James, in a little bit. We got Rogers Presser coming up now.
Without watching the film, which is coming off the field, what do you feel like was the biggest problems offensively?
Situational football, 3rd down, red zone.
What happened to you when they took you into the tent?
They called from upstairs and said I had to get checked out by the unaffiliated neuro person.
Why have you guys had such a hard time coming off these 10-day stretches? You come off and when you come out of these games, it seems like the energy's not there.
Yeah, I don't know. Good question. I'm not sure. I don't have a great answer for you. I'm sorry.
What's your level of frustration right now?
Listen, it's been a lot of emotions this year for sure. I thought after a big win Thursday night, nice long week, we were going to come out with a lot of energy and win the game, and we just we didn't come out with great energy on either side of the ball. And offensively, you're not going to beat anybody scoring 6 points.
How does that happen, Aaron, when everything's looking so well and then you kind of have a game where it lacks the energy, like you said?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, offensively, I feel like, we had a good week of practice. We'd like to plan. Just, they played really good on defense. We didn't sustain, we didn't score 7 in the red zone. I missed a couple throws for sure. And situational, we were just really bad.
Aaron, on the play to Devontae in the second quarter when you guys were down in the red zone there, it looked like he stopped. Was that what happened on that situation there?
Which one?
You kind of threw to the left. Devontae was on 3rd down in the second quarter. He kind of stopped. And it looked like he stopped on the inside and he went outside there. And you guys ended up with a field goal.
Yeah.
Is that just a miscommunication or?
Trying to think exact play. I think he was probably right on that one, and I was trying to get the ball out quick. I was kind of hoping he maybe break off his route, but he was at the right depth.
You completed only 1 pass over 10 yards in the air. What led to that?
A lot of things. We had a few chances. Missed the spot a couple times. Didn't. I think we handled the noise and the empty pressure that they brought very well.
3 and 7. I'm sure you know the math isn't in your guys' favor at the moment for a playoff run. How do you process that as a team, or approach that as a team?
We just got to focus on what's in front of us and beat the Colts, and then get to the bye and sort some things out. And we got a couple West Coast opponents coming out for 1 o'clock games, and we got 1, 2, 3 division games. So a lot still in front of us.
Aaron, any thoughts on what you saw from the Cardinals that maybe manifested itself from looking at the film, and how far you think they can go?
Yeah, they got a lot of nice players. You know, 𝐀𝐟𝐟 seemed like he was really efficient. The running back, Connor, is a load. We didn't, you know, couldn't get him down a lot. We got a good tight end, got a first top pick receiver. Defensively, you know, they got some nice scheme. Buddha is obviously real talented. The corners played well. They had a nice job today. They took it to us.
Sorry, you said earlier that about the season, a lot of different emotions. I'm wondering if you could elaborate that in the context of what your expectations were coming into the year and then seeing yourself here at 3-7.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
Why not?
It's a lot of different emotions. You know, it seems like there's that's a loaded answer, but it's not the time or the place to get into any of that right now, Rich. But at some point, I'll give you a better answer.
The drive coming out of half, you get all the way down to the 3-yard line. What broke down there at the 3? I think it was two passes, then you got sacked from behind.
Yeah, unfortunately, had 𝐿 in the back of the end zone for a touchdown, it would have made things, you know, a little bit different. 24, 13, 14 there.
Yep.
Yeah, I like the play calls. If I could miss a spot slightly, maybe on the one of Devontae, and then, you know, we kind of felt like we got beat off the left side a little quick, and I should maybe just move and just got up right away. But by the time I saw 𝐿𝐿, he was supposed to run a different route. He made a nice adjustment, kind of just go into empty space, and, you know, it was one of those bang plays. And you know, literally a 10th of a second from getting that ball off for a touchdown instead, sack, fumble, turnover.
Okay, thanks everyone.
All right, thanks.
I just don't care. I just don't care. It doesn't matter. These are all these bullshit fucking answers at the end of these press conferences, and I just don't care. This is a team of non-winners. This is a team of just not serious football players. That's what it feels like. It feels like we got a bunch of guys collecting a paycheck that just don't give a shit about how they look on the field. It's incredibly frustrating. I'm sure there's some players out there that are fighting hard, but man, I am like stretching and reaching to try and find an answer to not like just totally blow off Sundays. We suck. We're really, really bad. Tankathon right now, I don't know how they do this. I guess because it's too early to tell. They have us taking a safety at the 9th pick. Malachi Starks out of Georgia. Travis Hunter going 1, Sanders going 2, Cam Ward going 3. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of talk about the quarterback, maybe some offensive or defensive linemen for the Jets in the draft. I don't really know how this is going to play out, how this is all going to shake out. Boys, girls, thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you could hit that like button, it at least lets me know that it's appreciated that I do these streams, even on these terrible, terrible days. Help the algorithm a little bit more. Help some other poor, miserable bastards discover this damn stream and this channel. Boys and girls, before we continue, I do just want to hop over and acknowledge a sponsor of the stream. Just because some of my takes may stink doesn't mean you guys have to stink. And that's where the sponsor of today's video comes in. Mando reached out and said, Ryan, your team has stunk for a very long time, so we know that you understand what stinking is. And I said, yeah, absolutely. They're like, so bad, in fact, that we think we can smell you through the camera. And I was like, man, that's very aggressive. Thank you. But what do I got to do? They're like, hey, we're going to send you out some product. We want you to test it out. We want you to be honest with your audience. And then if you like it, offer up a promo code. I was like, all right, cool. So they sent me out the starter pack. I got the Mount Fuji deodorant. Really enjoy that. Put that on every day. In the summer, I've got what is known as a chafing problem, like 2 chestnuts over a roasting fire type problem. This stuff can be put on anything. Your feet, your butt crack, your grundle, your armpits, your hands, boobies, rolls, under boobies, anywhere. This stuff is totally safe. And throwing this on the chafing areas, very, very appreciated. It comes with 2 free gifts as well. I chose the bourbon leather body wash. Becca has really liked that, but I think my favorite thing in the pack is honestly the deodorant wipes. I throw this in my to-go bag and I can just freshen up no matter where I am throughout my day. And maybe I was just yelling at a camera underneath some hot lights and I just need to look a little bit nicer, smell a little bit nicer when I walk out of the cockpit here. So Guys, if you want to get in on this, I've really enjoyed it. Shopmando.com, promo code JetsTalk. That's shopmando.com, promo code JetsTalk is going to get you $5 off. That's a 40% off savings on their starter pack. Thank you so much for sponsoring the channel. Thank you so much for stinking alongside of me, Mando. That's why I get this type of sponsorship. I get a sponsorship for deodorant because they know this whole damn team stinks. They know you guys in the chat stink. Could use a little freshen up. Promo code in the description for all you guys and gals out there that want to smell a little bit better when watching this team. Bledsoe's internal bleeding says, retire, dude, retire. Talking about Mr. Aaron Rodgers. Brutal. Gotta hope he just retires at the end of this year. Because quarterback's going to be on the menu for draft season. And I don't know if I really want to sit through year 3 of Rodgers. Swap it out with a new coach. Maybe you can convince me with all the players that there's a new spark of life. But I don't know. This is a pretty sour taste in my mouth, and I don't know exactly where we're headed from here. It's gonna be a long off season. Logan says we need a whole new staff and players. Gary King says, why don't you retire? You never push the ball down the field anymore. Only dump offs. Somewhere Zach Wilson and Robert Saleh are sharing a drink on a beach and giggling. Yeah, look, it wasn't too good when they were here either. So just because they stink doesn't mean, a whole lot of anything. They stink, we all stink. That's what it is. Jake says, people said hope after beating a wide receiver-less Houston team on a short week. Yeah, that was it. It was like, oh, maybe they're starting to turn around now. Nah, not at all. Sean, I love when players shove Samini back in the locker where he belongs. Yeah, Rodgers kind of giving him a non-answer and brushing it off. I appreciate that type of stuff, I guess. It's okay, I'm not happy, but I'm not going to say something stupid right now. I'm waiting to say it Tuesday on the fucking Pat McAfee show. Need John Gruden. I don't know if John's allowed to coach right now. I think he's got a lawsuit with the league still. David Smith. Rodgers washed up. Do Jets a favor and retire. Oreo says, Ryan is broken. Welcome to the dark side. Pessimistic fans need to join this side so you're never disappointed when the team loses. Yeah, look, it's not so much that I'm pessimistic as much as I'm just not going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I just expect them to lose every game, every year. To the point where my pick'em leagues, I choose against the Jets normally. This year was a little different. I actually did pick the Jets a few times. But normally, I don't pick the Jets at all. And if you put your money on the anti-Jets, you're probably making halfway decent money and you're smarter than the average one of us. We keep coming back. We're gluttons for punishment. Jets says just end the season. Just end the season. Matthew says, Ryan, I'm sick, brother. Honestly, I'm speechless. I will not have any hopes for this team until I see one winning season. We find ways to lose. Yeah, I have a very hard time seeing how I'm going to get myself jazzed up. I'm looking forward to draft season and looking at prospects and all that good stuff and where things could potentially go. But I'm very much not optimistic for this Jets season at all. Boys and girls, I'm going to take this to about 30 minutes. So we're going to do one more minute of this, and then I'm just going to be done. It's just not even 8 o'clock. I don't feel like I have much more to add to my spiel. So if you got any questions, throw them in now. Michael says, remember, guys, best team we ever had. The owner told us he wouldn't lie to us or be oblivious to the product he's putting on the field. Look, he's selling he's trying to sell tickets. That's what it is. This is a non-serious team. We are not serious people. Brock, thanks, Ryan. We appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for coming in here. Low IQ players. I think there is some of that, or maybe disconnected players that, because I think we have smart players. That's what is frustrating. This does on paper look like a really good team, and they're playing low IQ football right now. Really, really shitty. Or this is 10 days off is the new kryptonite for the Jets. The worst part is Rodgers is coming back next year for his redemption, and the results will be worse. He'll be another year older. Like, no one wants this. Look, I do think Rodgers comes back next year. I think they try to run it back with the players they have under new leadership, and you try to tweak some things in the offseason. Probably draft a quarterback in the first or second round. I don't think any of us are naive to think that may not be a realistic outcome. I think even Rodgers probably understands it at this point, given how the first 2 years of his time here has gone. I'm not totally against seeing that option next year because I feel like all the players you'd be trading away for draft picks are going to be worth similar packages next year. So I would just say new GM comes in, new head coach comes in. Hey, sorry guys that want contracts for this Super Bowl caliber season. You're not getting one. You're not getting one. No one has played well enough this year to earn themselves a contract. Not a single person on this team is worthy of a contract. Not one. Guess what? You're all coming back next year. We're going to try it one more time. I just do not, I don't see it. It's really pisses me off. Ryan, what are you going to do? What are you going to be doing on Sundays now? Time to get in shape for summer with the extra day. Yeah, I have some commitments on Sundays that I have to adhere to, I guess. You guys will be still getting some videos, but man, I am very much not going to be emotionally tied to this team right now. It's not worth my time. Got a nice young family. Got a lot of other shit I could be doing. So talking with you guys throughout the night, keeping me a little sane. I think we could have some discussion over prospects that we like, over players that we like coming out in the draft. We could look at draft position going on throughout the rest of this calling it an off season. The off season that starts in November for our New York Jets. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm gonna do. It just sucks. Really, really sucks. Bruce says, it's getting harder and harder to watch this. I'm in Scotland. I feel more sorry for you guys stateside. I feel bad you stayed up and watched this game. What time is it over there? Midnight by you? This is it's not a good team. Not a fun product to watch on a consistent basis. I find it very hard for fans. If I could call for a boycott of this whole franchise right now, I would do it. This is sad. This is a bad excuse for a team. Players not playing, coaches not coaching. Just lack of execution, lack of everything. And I'm not going to stress about it. I do not care. I do not care right now. Boys and girls, thank you so much for hanging out with me. This stream is brought to you, powered by BetUS. Get 150% bonus match on your first deposit up to $2,000 using code YouTube150. We did not hit the over at 46 points today. Jets only mustered 6 points, while the Cardinals had their 31. And then clearly the spread, the Jets just got smoked from start to finish this game. Boys and girls, it was a fun half hour. Glad you were here. Glad I got to talk to you for a little bit. But I'm going to go, I don't know, what would not be fun? I'm going to walk on some Legos, maybe like stab myself with thumbtacks a few times, burn my tongue on hot coffee. I don't even know. This fucking team. This just sucks. Boys and girls, I'll talk to you tomorrow. We'll do a little call-in show tomorrow. And kind of talk out our answers. Maybe we'll do a little mock what's ahead or something like that. This is Jets Talk. Signing off. JETS.